It was amazing, this house then. I'd never seen anything like it. Mr. Graham's father invited people here he considered important. Once a week he had a little soiree. So, when you came here, there were few guests, but nearly all of them were giants. Great novelists, famous people from the movies, actors and directors, scientists, politicians, of course, too. Those were the only guests. I mean, you'd crane your neck all night to try to get a glimpse. Was that E.M. Forster that just walked past you? Was that figure over there in the chair, Alfred Hitchcock? Was that the back of 𝗲𝗏𝗄𝗎's head? I think that's 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 over there, deep in the shadows.
Why were you there?
How on earth was I invited? Me, a young woman who'd just lost her Manchester accent. You wouldn't have guessed that's where I came from, would you?
I hadn't thought about it.
I forced myself to lose my accent. At university, I taught myself to speak like this. I was there because I've been very lucky and become rather well known in my own right. See, at Oxford, I wrote a lot of journalism, and one of my pieces got picked up by a Sunday newspaper. Suddenly, I was writing about movies and culture. You really can't imagine what the world was like then. It was a very class-bound time, of course. Full of absurd rules and ridiculous prejudices. You know, even about how you held your fork at meal times.
Is it Henry? No, I've never been to a shoot.
And suddenly I had my own column. And I wrote a book with it's a silly title. Slicing the Apple, which caused a stir. It was an attack against the male elite. There's nothing remarkable, of course, Joe. It was who was saying it that excited people. I mean, this was before the Beatles and all that, of course.
Yeah? Oh, before the Beatles.
The confidence of youth.
Months ago, regular readers of this column will remember I advocated a little more passion in our native cinema. That perhaps physical love was not best expressed by a small peck on our jaunty hero's cheek by his long-suffering wife as he sets off for work in the morning whistling. I also ventured the thought that it was important that audiences were treated as adults, and therefore sexual love was clearly a proper subject for cinema, and that ultimately we might see some representation of the actual sexual act in mainstream pictures.
I wrote an article saying there should be more sex in the movies. I mean, all hell broke loose. There I was. I kept being invited, and I felt really alive, buzzing with ideas and the possibility of things.